Welcome to The Explainer. So, today we're tackling something literally every single one of us faces at some point: high-pressure situations. We tend to view performing under pressure as this mystical trait, right? Like it's a stroke of luck or some rare genetic gift. But today, we are completely flipping that script. We're going to look at high-stakes performance not as a magical occurrence, but as a structurally sound building that we construct brick by brick. By the time we wrap up here, you're going to see exactly how to blueprint and build your very own ultimate performance architecture. Let's get into it.
Okay, I want you to picture your own high-stakes moment right now. Maybe it's stepping up to a podium for a massive presentation in front of the executive team. Or, maybe it's sitting down for a career-defining exam, or stepping onto the field for a championship game. Your palms are sweating. Your heart is racing. Now think about that classic movie cliché we've all been fed for years. The hero is losing, they're down to their absolute last breath, and suddenly, magically, they just find it within themselves to step up when it counts. They effortlessly rise to the occasion through sheer willpower. I mean, it's a beautiful Hollywood story, right? But is that actually what happens in the real world when the pressure is truly on?
I want you to really let this sink in, because the research tells us something completely different from the movies. Listen to this. During high-pressure situations, you would not rise up to the occasion, but you would fall to the highest level of your preparation. Think about that for a second. You don't magically elevate. You default. You fall back on whatever foundation you've already built. This completely shatters the whole myth of the natural-born clutch performer. It's not about magic. It's about the safety net of preparation you've woven for yourself long before the spotlight ever turns on.
Section 1. Building the foundation.
So if we know we're going to fall back on our foundation, we better make sure that foundation is rock solid, right? Let's start with the tangible physical groundwork. Every sturdy building starts with a deep, solid base. And in our performance architecture, that groundwork is skill development. We're talking about the unglamorous, behind-the-scenes work here. Regular practice and training are absolutely crucial. Whether you're prepping for public speaking, an athletic event, or complex exams, it's that consistent, repetitive practice that builds two absolutely vital things: proficiency and confidence. When you've done something 1,000 times in the shadows, your brain doesn't completely panic when you're asked to do it just once in the spotlight. You are literally laying the concrete that all your future success is going to stand on.
And here is the mortar that holds all those bricks together: your mindset. A fixed mindset views challenges as massive setbacks, basically as proof that you just aren't good enough. That's a cracked foundation right there. But adopting a growth mindset means you view those exact same challenges as opportunities. Embracing challenges and actually learning from your mistakes fosters the kind of resilient attitude we need. When you build with a growth mindset, a mistake during practice isn't a failure at all. Actually, it's valuable data that makes your final structure even stronger.
Moving on to Section 2, Mastering Your Inner Game.
Okay, once that physical groundwork is laid, we've got to move inward. We're shifting from the physical bricks and mortar to framing the internal psychology, the mental structure of our building. Beyond just technical skills, mental toughness is absolutely vital for handling pressure. And there are 3 actionable techniques to build it. Step 1, visualization. See the success in your mind before it ever happens in reality. Step 2, positive self-talk. Be your own best coach, not your worst critic. Step 3, deep breathing. You have to regulate your nervous system on demand. These 3 techniques work together rapidly to help you cultivate incredible resilience and maintain laser-like focus when the chaos starts swirling.
And all of this builds into ultimate self-belief. Believing in your own abilities is really the only way to overcome the self-doubt that naturally creeps into high-pressure situations. But self-belief isn't just a feeling, It's an action. So how do we build it? First, we set achievable goals. We create a staircase of success. Second, we celebrate the small victories. Did you nail that one really difficult paragraph of your speech? Celebrate it. It fuels your motivation. And third, seek support from others. No architect builds a skyscraper entirely alone. Lean on your team, your mentors, and your friends to reinforce your structure.
Section 3, Planning for the Unexpected.
Look, a building isn't really finished until it can withstand a storm. We do this by turning self-awareness into a tactical weapon. Understanding our specific weaknesses and tendencies allows us to map perfectly tailored strategies to our exact needs. For example, if your tendency is to become super anxious under pressure, you don't just ignore it and hope for the best. No way. You actively map that to a strategy, like practicing relaxation techniques or developing emotion management routines. You are literally drawing up contingency plans for your own psychology.
Which leads us directly into scenario planning. Anticipate, strategize, execute. This is where we look at the environment around us and anticipate potential external challenges. What if the projector completely dies during your big pitch? What if the opposing team suddenly changes their defense? Developing strategies to address these unexpected hurdles makes you feel profoundly more prepared. You do this by creating mental scripts, physically practicing your specific responses to worst-case scenarios, and actively seeking guidance from mentors who have weathered those exact storms before. You aren't just hoping for a sunny day here. You are fully waterproofing the whole shebang.
Finally, Section 4, your ultimate performance architecture.
We've laid the physical foundation, framed our mental toughness, and stress-tested the entire system. Now, this comparison captures everything we've talked about today. Yes, talent and natural ability are fantastic starting points. They definitely contribute to success. But think of talent as a vacant plot of beautiful land. I mean, it has potential, but it's not going to keep you warm at night. Preparation and mindset form the actual house. That is the structure that protects you. The source material makes this crystal clear. While talent helps, it's ultimately your preparation and mindset that truly determine your performance under pressure.
So, what's the final takeaway here? How do we guarantee we're ready? It really comes down to where you spend your time. Equipping yourself to achieve your goals and handle the pressure requires a dedicated, proactive investment of time in 3 key areas: skill development to build the physical foundation, mental toughness to weather the internal storms, and self-awareness to anticipate and plan for your unique vulnerabilities. If you invest your time deeply in these 3 areas, your architecture is going to stand tall no matter how hard the wind blows.
Think back to that high-stakes moment I asked you to picture at the very beginning of this explainer. You know it's coming. The pressure's going to rise. You can't rely on magic, and you won't automatically rise to the occasion. You will fall to the level of your preparation. So I'm going to leave you with this question to think about today. What are you building for your next high-pressure moment? Will it be a house of cards or an unbreakable architecture of performance? Thanks for joining me, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.